one sec. Open up the chat thread real quick. I can see people talking in the discussion below. There. One second, guys. I apologize for not. Everything's a go. Freaking light. Hey, what is going on National Wrestling Shooters Reviews? Cody here, and this is a topic that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. Now, obviously, everyone has different opinions when it comes to certain wrestlers. People might not like Nakamura styles, while others, like myself, do. And that's one thing entirely to have a different opinion on wrestling and all that. But for someone, but I see it all the time. I see all the time people say, AJ Styles is great. And someone commenting on their thing, no, he's not great. Fuck you for saying that. If I'm a guy who wants Styles Nakamura to be the main event, and I want Styles Nakamura to be the main event, there would be someone else along the line saying, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know wrestling at all. All you do is you want a freaking spot fest. And it comes down to the fact of terms being used. You guys know that I have not been able to talk today. I apologize. Which ones I'm talking about? Let's see. Which ones are there? Let's see. I got 2 people watching right now. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Terms smarks and marks. Let me first off put out there, I personally hate these terms with a passion, and to me, that's just degrading someone for their opinion. Which I'm going to get to something like that in just a minute. Now, one thing that I've seen a lot is people saying around the world, just because people don't like Roman Reigns, because they actually don't like Roman Reigns, not the bandwagoners. The bandwagoners are a different story. But those that don't like Roman Reigns, like, for example, I don't like Roman Reigns because I don't like someone being shoved down my throat all the time. Them trying to get him to be liked. People aren't going to like him. Right? Now, there is some merit to some people calling people out when it comes to hypocrisy, when it comes to, oh, they liked Roman Reigns, and now all of a sudden, oh, well, now he's the top guy, now you hate him. And that's one thing entirely. I'm a wrestling fan. Marks. Well, Russo might not like the comments that I'm going to say, Scott. Just a heads up. And Broken Rupert, I saw it early on the Hangout on my channel. Now, those terms have been used, and supposedly they are in the dictionary. They're in an online dictionary and all that kind of shit. I don't believe in those terms. Flat out, I don't believe in those terms. I don't feel like someone should be called an idiot just for having a different opinion than you. I don't think it's right to go after someone just because, like, for example, let's say, how Jack likes Dean Ambrose. I like AJ Styles. We go back and forth, I'm like, oh, Styles is winning a match with Ambrose. Oh, no, Ambrose is winning a match. Ambrose will whip Styles' ass in real life, And that's one thing. That's banter. We don't take it too far, because at the end of the day, we know, yeah, hey, all in the fun. So, here's a perfect example. Brock River here seems to not have been a fan of Roman Reigns since the Shield. And he still doesn't like him. That is what people would call that one. It wouldn't mean one of those terms. That's best. I agree with you there. That's just me. But I do agree with you, Broken Rupert, on that. Styles is the best. In my opinion, Styles is the best. Now, I do believe that there are other ones out there who could potentially be better than Styles. So I can accept that because they're great guys like Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler, all those guys. Oh wait, but wait a minute. Oh no, 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 no. Those are vanilla midgets, right? That's another term that I don't fucking like. Vanilla midgets. The term vanilla midget means that the character is bland and all they know how to do is wrestle and wrestle and wrestle and wrestle and wrestle. Um, but that one's not as bad as the other ones, the smarks and the marks and all that bullshit. Because at least with the vanilla midget, you're describing what you think about the wrestler. I'm not really a fan of that term, but it makes more sense, I guess. I don't think that's the right word to describe it, but um, hang on. I really should have this pulled up. But let's pull up the quote unquote definition of a smart or mark. In a second, my computer is a completely slow piece of shit right now. Okay. Looking up the terms right now as we speak. Those that don't know what I'm talking about will know exactly what I'm talking about. Fan of professional wrestling who okay, so the term smart fan of professional wrestling who is aware that the matches are scripted but still enjoys them anyway. So for example, let's say Andrade Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano. Let's use that as an example because seems like people like to go at people who enjoy good wrestling for no reason at all. I enjoyed that match. I believe it was a really, really great match. In my opinion, that would be a worthy 5-star match. However, there could be someone else who is on the other side of the spectrum will come at me and say, "You're just a smark." And what's a smark? See that right there. So for them to use that term to kind of berate, yeah, I know they're scripted, but I can enjoy them nonetheless. It's kind of a bad insult, if you ask me. But let's look up the other one that more people use as an insult than not, and that is a mark. Look at mark real quick. All right. All right. Mark is a slang term that describes a fan who believes that the characters and events of some or all of professional wrestling are real. The terms can also be applied to a fan who idolizes a particular wrestler, promotion, or style of wrestling to a point some might consider excessive. Very smart. Mick Carter. Let me go at that step to step. Mark is a slang term that describes a fan who believes that the characters and events of some or all of professional wrestling are real. Now, that one's not really the kicker. Here's the kicker. This term can also be applied to a fan who idolizes a particular wrestler, promotion, or style of wrestling to a point some may consider excessive. Let's look at that one real quick. Now, when the term is used in the right circumstances, that's barely one thing. But here's the thing with that. Here's a lot of things that a lot of people do, and this is where I'm going to get to the fucking rant that I'm going to get to. People use that term a lot around, and it's mainly those who are looking in the past. It's those fans who want the Attitude Era to come back, or the Ruthless Aggression Era to come back. Newsflash, learn like me, those eras are not coming back. Okay? Learn that those days are gone. It's all about what's happening now in professional wrestling, not just WWE, but in Impact, in Lucha Underground, in New Japan, in Ring of Honor, in Shimmer, in PWG, in WCPW, or Defiant Wrestling, whatever the case may be. There is... Okay, hang on. Wicked, I used to think Warrior was the man. When I grew up, he sucked in the ring. I enjoy the big NXT shows. Good in ring. Am I smart? Okay. Let me answer that for you, Rupert. To me, you are not a smart. You are not a mark. You are a fan of wrestling. You are a fan, okay? You enjoy NXT? I enjoy NXT. You like the takeovers? I like the takeovers. You like AJ Styles? I like AJ Styles. And okay, and here's the thing. People like us, right, will calmly, just say, hey, I like AJ Styles, that's my opinion. And then there's a bunch of people coming at us saying that we're marks just because we like someone and there's no proof of it being excessive. Or they use the term that says that they don't like someone. And that's the term that a lot of people throw around. Now, here's the main part that I'm going to talk about here. When it's in the right circumstances, that's one thing entirely. I follow some people that are massive, massive fans of AJ Styles. I'm not going to call them a mark because they're not. To me, I don't believe in those terms. You're a big fan of wrestling. You're one of the biggest fans of AJ Styles, let's say. Or, let's say, Michael Marler. He's a big fan of Finn Balor. Scott. I think your guy was Cesaro, right? You're a big fan of Cesaro. We don't like Roman Reigns. And then there's these people that are coming to defend Roman Reigns just to try to piss us off. You see, that's another thing. People will go at people and say that their favorite wrestler sucks because they want to piss them off. And that's the real problem. The problem is not the smarks, per se. You want to know what I think the problem is? The problem is those people who use those terms and go at people just to piss them off, to troll, so to speak. It is what it is. I've seen people who are Impact Wrestling fans who have commented on the New Day's post or a New Day's page saying how much they suck. And people, will go in to defend the New Day. But, oh, wait, they're in the wrong, right? Well, see, here's the wrong part. The fact that some people go over to WWE's pages and just say that someone sucks or a group sucks just to get people wound up. That is the problem. The problem is, and a big reason why we can't get along is because people can't accept the fact that the days of the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression are gone. It's about now's wrestling. Some people, they don't like some people. That's one thing to have an opinion. But to go out and berate other people just because that they like someone, they like an NXT, they like AJ Styles, Rollins, Balor, and you want the sword. Even Roman Reigns. If you like Roman Reigns, a lot of people will go on and berate you for liking Roman Reigns. Big whoop, you like Roman Reigns. So what? Roman Reigns is not my cup of tea. Or Canada Dr. Pepper, I should say. I don't drink tea. But so what? You can like Roman Reigns. Big whoop. When sometimes in live reactions when I'm like, oh, Roman, that's not allowed. That's not me being serious. That's me joking around. And there's a difference between joking around and actually belittling or trying to belittle someone because of their views on wrestling. You can tell when someone's joking around when it's like, oh, AD Styles sucks, LMAO, JK, just messing with you. And then there's the other side, which is like, oh, AJ Styles fucking sucks. You're a fucking mark and a smart. You know nothing about wrestling. I'm gonna freaking do a rant with my shirt off, and because I'm fucking 40 years old and I live in my mother's basement, sort of thing. But no, you live in your mother's basement because you like AJ Styles. See what I mean? And I got more comments going in. AJ is so good in the ring. I do agree with that. 88 versus HBK is a dream match. That is also a freaking dream match. I'm a huge fan of Lucha Underground, huge fan of NXT, Ring of Honor, and Impact Wrestling under Don Cobbs and Scott D'Amore era. I'm also a huge fan of Champion Man, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and Cody Rhodes, and the WWE. And you see, what happens with that, guys, is guess what? We're bad guys. We're the wrong guys for liking someone and not ranting about it. And that's what I've learned over the years. If you guys remember, back in 2013, I believe, I was a massive not fan. I wasn't a fan of CM Punk, and I always ranted. I always bitched and moaned and pissed and everything, to be fair with that, I was 13. I was still, trying to develop, so to speak, kinda. Some say I haven't developed the right. But beside the point, I've come to realize that the more you understand about the professional wrestling business, the more respect you'll get for a lot of the wrestlers. Like, there's obviously going to be some that you're just not flat out a fan of. Like, for example, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan of Elias's gimmick. I'm really not. And people will say, some people will say, but like, it's just like the Rusev Day gimmick. And I'm a big Rusev Day guy. But again, let's divide the field in half. There'll be some people, the fans, the logical fans, who will say, I disagree, or I agree. Your opinion, or they like Walking with Elias, over Rusev Day, and that's their opinion. If, like, let's say, I know Scott and Jack are big Walking with Elias fans, me and Marler are big Rusev Day fans. And at the end of the day, we go back and forth. We're like, oh, Rusev Day is better, Walking with Elias is better, Rusev Day is better, Rusev Day is better, everyone, remember that. See? But that's the thing. Banter is one thing. Going on to the other side of the things, right? You have people, like, let's say I'm a big Rusev Day mark, right? I use the term mark very loosely. And honestly, it slipped. There are some people going to be like this. Oh, Rusev Day, that's the corniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I remember when there were real wrestlers and real characters in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. We should bring that back. Fuck this PG bullshit with the unicorns and the and all that shit. You know what? You are an illogical mark. You know nothing about wrestling, so get out of here. You see what I mean? That kind of shit is ridiculous. So ultimately, when it comes down to who ruins wrestling, to me, it's not the guys who are the big fans of AJ Styles. It's not the guys who have different opinions than others. Everyone has different opinions. That's just the way the world goes. To me, the people that ruin the wrestling business, if anyone really ruins the wrestling business, are the guys who are using the terms to belittle people. And I know there are some people who are like, well, I use the term when it's at the right terms. Yeah, but here's the thing. When those terms have been overused by a lot of idiotic people, believe me, there are people that don't know how to use the term. That ruins it for everyone. People talk about wrestling like smarts and marks ruining the business. Nuh-uh. No. They're enjoying the product that's right now. They're not stuck in the past wanting the PG era to go away and for the Attitude Era to go away. Now, would I like to see that back? That'd be cool. But understand this. They're not going to do that right now. So I'm not going to bitch and moan every Raw and SmackDown and NXT episode just because, for the sake of bitching. Because to me, a lot of these ranters, a lot of ranters who go on YouTube, not the ones that have positive things and negative things to say about it, because if you are a fan, you're going to have a lot of positives and a lot of negatives in your time of watching professional wrestling, whether it's WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA, New Japan, and there's going to be something there that you don't like. And if you like everything that goes on, great, that might not be as normal, but you know what? That's you. If you like everything that's going on right now, you know what? Keep liking everything that's going on right now. That's the good attitude to have. You notice how, like, back in the day, I wasn't really hesitant on doing any rants. Nowadays, I'm more, now that I understand the wrestling business more, and I actually watch the show and think about everything that happens and all that, I understand that some things are done for a reason. I don't like them. You know what? I will voice that I don't like them, but the days of, like, the big rants, really, I don't know. They're just kind of gone nowadays. You want to know why? Because a lot of people who are ranting over here rant for the sake of ranting and bitch for the sake of bitching. because they think that, oh, their company's better. And that's another thing, right? People have different opinions about, WWE's better, Impact's better, New Japan's better, Ring of Honor's better, Lucha Underground's better. You know, that's one thing entirely. But it's another thing to, again, use trolling tactics, quite frankly, BS rants, and more to try to prove that another company is better than WWE. And at the end of the day, sorry, freaking alarm clock going off and going. Are you serious? There we go. Sorry. That was weird. Um, yeah, more people commenting. Let's see. People on the net killed wrestling. I will agree with you on that. Because really, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of people who spread a lot of hate on the internet. And that's the main source of these issues. One of the only sources, the internet. Some people on the internet who berate people really hurt wrestling. Not the smarts and the marks. It's those guys. Whether you want to admit it or not, if you rant about every little thing just for the sake of bitching, you're stuck in the past. Move on. You're ruining wrestling, or you're trying to ruin wrestling. There's people like me and others. Rant if you want. Just a bunch of this. I'll sit back and enjoy my wrestling. What bothers me is when fans say guys like Nakamura, Balor, or Styles have no character. You can't recreate actor when I work today. It's PG world. Hey, Scott Lesnar has more. See, here's an example right here. Jack made a comment saying, "Hey, Scott Lesnar has more character than those guys, LMAO, JK." That is one thing. Again, there's the difference between banter and being legitimately serious about these kind of things. Now, I will say this. Can maybe Styles, Nakamura, Balor have a little work on their character? Absolutely. Everyone has to work on something. I wouldn't say they have no character. It's just the character's kind of eh. But for me, honestly, two things I look for when it comes to wrestling: storytelling and wrestling. I don't really look at the characters, honestly. Like, obviously, if there's a character there, I'll notice it. And if it's great, and that'll get points for me. But again, this is the World Wrestling Entertainment. Impact Wrestling. Ring of Honor Wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling. You see what I mean? Wrestling. Two guys go against each other. Out of about one winner. Or multi-man matches. Or tag team matches. Who knows? But you get what I mean? It's focus on the wrestler. Just because a character might be dead, that doesn't hurt the match. Storytelling and the wrestling itself. If those two don't go good, then that hurts the match. You see, Gargano and Almas, for example, they had a great storytelling match. A lot of roller coaster moments. Because what I like as a wrestling fan, and a lot of people like as a wrestling fan, is to go on a roller coaster. If they have no roller coaster, it's not there. The match is simply not there. Almas and Gargano, a lot of close call moments, a lot of false finishes, a lot of great maneuvers, a lot of like, roller coaster. For example, WrestleMania 30. That whole show, Taker streak ending, Cena being Wyatt, Brian winning the belt, yay! You know what I mean? Like, that roller coaster is great, which is why I really like WrestleMania 30, despite Taker's streak ending to Brock Lesnar. Anyway, But an example of a match that's not there. Got two examples: Roman Reigns and Triple H, and Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. And the build for the Ambrose Lesnar match looked like it would be promising. But that's not. Oh, build. I forgot about that. The build. I apologize. Build's got to be there too. Another thing. Cena. Actually, let me use this one. Cena Roman. Of a thing that has one thing, two things, but the third kind of brings it down. There of course could be one bad thing that happens that brings the whole thing down if it's so bad. The Reigns Cena match had great build, really decent storytelling, but the match itself is kind of downhill. And it comes to one thing that's bad enough, it could drag down the rest. That's why some people might like it, some people might not. If I say that the build was better than the match, people will disagree. It's how you word it that is the important part. If you word it in a way that degrades someone else, you're the problem. Not the people that have the opinions, or not the guys who are the massive fans of Cena, Roman Styles, Rollins, Balor, Nakamura, etc., etc., etc. It's those guys who decide to belittle people or troll people just for the sake of, look at these fans, look at these nerds. Look at these losers. No, you're the loser. You really are. If you're going to do that just for the sake of getting people to freaking, latch on and be like, no! If you're doing it just for the sake of that, then you are the problem. And I know people who I am friends with who have done this. I have nothing against them, but that's a problem that I've always had. And I don't like it at all. It really hurts wrestling for the people that are trying to enjoy it for what it is. Not people stuck in the past with the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. Yeah, is it, watch stuff on the WWE Network when it comes to Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression? Of course I do. Does it make me miss it? Yeah, of course. But I'm not holding my breath when it comes to, bring the Attitude Era back, please, 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 please. Where's Austin's shirt? Middle fingers in the air, all that. And that's the thing. Like I said, and now I'm repeating myself over and over again. Guys, everyone, it's time to move on. It's time to move on as a wrestling community. We all are bound together by one goal, by one passion, I should say: professional wrestling. Some people like just legitimate amateur wrestling. Some people may like Greco-Roman. Some people might like the cruiserweight. Some people might like the submission specialists. Me personally, I'm a fan of the high flyers, the submission specialists, and the technicians, I would say. Those are my three. And hardcore is always nice too. But that really comes down to it. It's people who use those terms to belittle people. That's the problem. And people who use it as a cheap insult. That's a big problem. Always has been a problem in wrestling, and it will be a problem in wrestling for a long, long time. Until people can learn to realize, hey, you know what? I might not like this. People do. It's cool. Can I share this video? Okay, the types of wrestlers you like it. Can I share this video? Yes, Scott. I do. I want everyone to share this video because I'm looking at it. People hate on this new stuff because we had it so good in 90s, early 2000s. You had to live the times, you know what I mean? Well, not necessarily broken. We're like one thing that's really good about the WWE Network is because people like me who started registered wrestling in 2002 could go back and look at the Attitude Era, some of the Golden Era, and be like, okay, well, let's see what was good there. And there were some great things about the past. There were some amazing things about the past. But guess what? There's amazing things about the future, and people aren't giving it a chance. And that is the problem. Not just with WWE. The biggest problem is WWE. But it's other wrestling promotions like Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan. At least when I watched Impact Wrestling back at Slammiversary 2015 and 2016. I gave it a chance. I didn't like it. I ranted. And that was that. I'm not a fan of Impact Wrestling. You know, I've heard that it's gotten better with Scott D'Amore and Don Callis. That's awesome to hear. Um, oh, and here's another thing I just remembered that I'm gonna call myself out on. Wishing that another company goes under. Now, this is the thing I have done in the past, so I'm gonna call myself out on this one, and I'm gonna call myself a hypocrite as well for this one because I'm in the wrong for this one. Just because you don't like the company, that doesn't mean that they have to go down under. Okay. And back in those days, I did say that in that Soniversary rant. It's there. You can watch it. You know what I'm talking about. And that's a problem. I've done this. I'm not the only one. A lot of people have done it as well. That part of the problem is me. I do intend to fix that. Because, see, I'm going to actually get better because I'm not going to be like someone who just continues on and on and on. Do I like Impact Wrestling? No. Do I hope it goes good? Yeah, I hope it all goes well. If it goes down under, you know what? It's a shame it goes down. But turn on TNA after the Hardys. I that was the only thing I think I was looking around and I misjudged it back then. The Hardy Boys thing that they did to TNA was actually it, and you come to realize like when you change your opinion on stuff. If anyone ever had those moments where like you change your opinion on something, you look at it one time and you're like, I don't like it, and then you look back on it and you're just like, this is actually wasn't that bad. And here's the thing, it was stupid funny. I'm a big fan of stupid funny shit, and the Hardy Boys thing was stupid, but it was funny, which is why I want it in WWE. I think they could do work when it comes to the WWE version. However, I would give them the benefit of the doubt because you had the Rumble build, you had the qualifier match for the Chamber. You didn't really have the time to build them, and I can see they're using the match of the Chamber to kind of catapult it there to a future match. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for this one. Um, sure. There were a lot of things that and that's the thing. It was different. Impact Wrestling did the good thing, but the Broken Hardys were different. And they fucked up when they fucked up the Hardy Boys contract negotiations to extend their contracts. They screwed themselves on that one, and I stand by that one. But ultimately, guys, remember, don't belittle fans just because they're a fan of the wrestling that's now. Remember, everyone's got opinions, and don't be stuck in the past. Move forward to the future. Move forward to the future, guys, because the future doesn't look bad at all. I'm hoping. Comes to the fan base, wrestling fan base, so to speak. I don't know, man. Go either way. But when it comes to the wrestling products, there's a lot of things coming up. It's always the beginning of the year. And I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this, but it's always the beginning of the year when everything gets exciting. And then towards the end of the year, kind of like, eh, 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 eh. Nothing really exciting happens after November, and sometimes even a little bit earlier at times. But you have one more comment from Jack. So how about them fans who wanted it in the WWE that bitch about it now? I mean, sure it could use work, but damn. Um, you're reminding me of something, Jack. I don't know what. Oh, right. Um, actually, nah. People change their opinion about it. I already covered that. Never mind. Um, I think I've covered everything. So, guys, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like this video, leave your comments down below, and subscribe to the National Wrestling Shooters, where we shoot from the hip as always. Fast Lane live reactions coming on March 11th, guys. 1 week from yesterday. And Fastlane live reactions, I'll be there. Michael might be here. I know Scott will be there. Jack, I'm hoping will be there, and hoping we can get a few others in there as well. But thank you to Will Ferrell, number one, Jay Trills, and Broken Rupert. Yes. I just now realized you got your broken name from the Broken Hearties. I got you. I see what you did there. I can appreciate that. But that's gonna do it, guys. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next shoot. This is Cody Brandon shooting for him as always. Brandon Studios, Close Up Shop, and signing out. See you guys in the next shoot. Peace out.